Market update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. Why is the market down? Why is the price of food and oil going up? I will tell you. Can the market go down more? Yes, and I can tell you why you should be happy about that. Is Jerome Powell sleeping at night? No, he's not. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you how things are going to unfold in the bond market and in crypto so you can catch altcoins. The good news is I'm more pro altcoins now than ever. Obviously, the point is to find the buy point. Okay, so I am going to welcome everybody who's here on the stream. We have Aiken is here. Welcome. Jeff, Robin, JP Stanley, Don't Ask 6. Welcome. Bull Runner. Okay. Robin says, nice green lights on a red momentum day. Kenneth says, look out for us, sheepdog. That is exactly what I'm doing. So you might be wondering about the green lights choice on purpose. Remember, in crypto, it has paid to sell on green and buy on red. Okay. Sell on green and buy on red. Okay. Nico F says, spill it, Bill. Okay. GF, oil to $100. Okay. By the way, are we having an internet issue? Anybody seeing an internet issue? Anybody? Okay. South Africa is in the house. Elias. All right. No internet issue. Let's get into the news. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Okay. Bitcoin live TA. We're going to get to that. Okay. Well, Skynet is here. They're heard from. OpenAI, Sam Altman, launches WorldCoin project. Okay, so we can talk about this. We can look at the chart. Okay, so this came out at a very robust valuation, as I understand it. And like all these things that come out at very high valuations, they dip before they potentially move higher. Now, what can we learn about WorldCoin? So, Bitcoin couldn't figure it out. Ethereum couldn't figure it out. Zcash couldn't scale, and Monero gets a bad rap. So the guys who run OpenAI are running a digital identification service. WorldCoin consists of a privacy-preserving digital identity, your World ID. You know, I get it, all right? You know, the digital currency. Okay, we hope that where the rules are less clear, such as the U.S., steps will be taken so more people will benefit. Okay, so this is a privacy coin received simply for being human. Now, as you might suspect, I'm all about, like, for example, being able to get into a bar, right, proving that you're over the age of 18 or 21, without having to give somebody all your data on your phone, your name, your address, your actual age. You just scan and pass and go. Now, it would be nice if that was a decentralized outfit, or at least done by a privacy coin or Vitalik or ETH or someone like that. The fact that they want to call this world currency, I mean, are they trying to scare people off? Now, that said, guess what, everybody? The CBDC that Ron DeSantis wants to outlaw, the world currency from the World Economic Forum, just took advantage of a decentralized mechanism and launched itself. Congratulations, you are now a citizen of the world. Whatever constitution you happened to be governed by, ChatGPT guys want to rewrite that. Now, can you get certified as an actual person with this? Yes, because you don't know if you're talking to a computer or a person. At least that's going to be a problem in the future. I get it. It's not that this doesn't have a value proposition. Of course it has a value proposition. Now, the most important value proposition is that it could bring more people into crypto, right? People might say, hey, I want WorldCoin. And that might bring in perhaps the unbanked. This is also a good way for OpenAI to airdrop universal basic income when it comes down to that. So why not issue it 3 to 4 months before crypto dawns as the future of money? So it makes sense. Is it spooky? Kinda. Because, all it takes is for everybody to pile in for this to become an actual form of money. Now, are people going to pile in? Who won here? The venture capitalists? OpenAI? The people who issued it? Probably in the short term. But it's the right thing, but I'm not sure it's from the right people. Interesting that this was released and crypto did nothing but go down. Okay, now. So I was willing to do Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Inu. I really was okay with that. Let me just put that up here. I was like, all right. This might be something worth looking at, only because of how much people like it. I had my co-host Toby take a look at it. It's actually kind of interesting, and I was like, you know what? It's holding to 62% retracement of the move up. So, you know what? Let me not be grumpy. Let's play nice, okay? Because you know what? This is just silly enough for people to go, you know what? It's interesting that people want it down here at the 62% retracement. However, you can now bet on hamster races. And as I understand it, the hamster races are pre-recorded so as to not have a hamster have a heart attack during a race. So you're gambling on a pre-recorded outcome. And this is probably pinned to a bulletin board right next to Gary Gensler's desk, right? Crypto does this to itself. Now, I'm not worried about that because I'm happy about that now. I used to get all grumpy and be like, oh my God. Now I'm like, okay, it's a buying opportunity. It is. It's either a buying opportunity today or you can take a 2-week vacation and then we'll sort it out later. Crypto mining is pivoting to AI like everyone else, okay? Pivoting to access clean energy and take advantage of the AI booms. ASICs machines are harder to convert, okay? Much of the capital in the startup space has shifted from Web3 to AI. So if you're not doing AI in addition to your crypto, you may not get venture capital funding. That's interesting. Okay. Ironically, just as Web3 is about to dawn, because in order to get AI to really work, you've got to do it inside Web3. Not to mention, WorldCoin has just explained to you what the future of money actually is. RFK vows to back the dollar with Bitcoin. And we've talked about this, and it's interesting that he's a Democratic presidential hopeful. I had thought of him as an independent before. Okay. Forbes now says the sky's the limit, hence the reason the market is down today, because every time the media gets uber bullish, okay, everything turns around and kind of tanks. Okay, it's not unexpected. Okay, let's talk about XRP. So, the court ruling is a milestone, but obviously there's a problem with how they sold it to institutions. Okay, obviously. XRP should be at $2. It's probably, ironically, the most not so positive thing in the market right now. Is that XRP should be massively higher. Okay? Massively higher. It should be at $2. And the reason it didn't go to $2 is why the market is down. Now, however, okay, Pancakes and Peanut Butter is here. Welcome. Welcome to the show. All right. Now, does this give you an opportunity, okay, to buy crypto? And here's why. Because politicians are going to discover that talking up crypto is going to be an effective 2024 strategy. And if Gensler doesn't approve the Bitcoin ETF, or he pushes it down the road, the spot ETF, that's going to offer people a huge buying opportunity. A huge. Andre is here. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Wrong again. Wrong again has his opinion of WorldCoin right there. Okay. And yes, I'm happy that there's no internet issue today. We're trying to move this up because of the heat. I like this. SEC asserts Ripple XRP case was wrongly decided, signals appeal. So when the SEC is right, they're right. And when they're wrong, they're right. This is called 1984, right? This is called scare you, scare you, scare you, scare you. And then the whole market goes red before the Fed. And I'm going to tell you why Jerome Powell is not sleeping at night. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Just want to get this one Fed Now article in. Fed bent the rules in the rollout of an instant payment service. What? The law doesn't apply to governments? So Bitcoin's down today. Are you really that upset? Or is it an opportunity? I know you're upset, but is it an opportunity? The answer to that is yes, it is. Okay. Now, I am going to go to PowerPoint. Okay. And believe it or not, I'm actually in the process of learning how to use the software to stream. So hope y'all can bear with me today. All right. Here comes your PowerPoint market update. So this is the $32 trillion debt clock up here in the corner. That's $97,000 per citizen and $253,000 per taxpayer. You know, I got an idea. How about the price of Bitcoin should be debt per citizen? I mean, my number is as good as any other number. This could be like considered a dartboard, right? How much money can they borrow? How much money can they send all the different places that they send money before that catches up with them? U.S. interest payments as a percentage of gross domestic product. So how much we owe in interest relative to how much we all make as a country. As you can see, when Fed funds were at 4%, and I found it incredulous that Powell was going to go to 5%, I was like, gee, I wonder how we're going to pay this bill. Especially since the Fed is not necessarily absorbing all of our debt. Now, I'm sure there's demand for our debt coming from 60-40 portfolio managers. That's 60 stock and 40 bonds, meaning big pension funds who just organically buy our debt. They're like, ooh, 4%. That's awesome. But the amount of debt we're racking up, the size of the interest payments, I mean, if the Fed doesn't want to own our debt, it stands to reason that the Chinese, Japanese, Russians, everybody is less interested in our debt than they used to be, even though it offers a higher return. This is the problem with the dollar. If the Fed doesn't want to own our bonds, who does? Think about it. Okay, there's DXY. Okay, let me go to some additional graphs that I have. Sharing the screen right here. Okay. Actually, wait. Stay with me. Okay, I like this. Central banks barely reduced QE from 33 trillion to 31 trillion. So remember when Jerome Powell wasn't sleeping at night? He's not sleeping at night because inflation is out there. Wheat is up 8%. You might notice I'm wearing a farmer's outfit in the thumbnail. Okay. And they haven't stopped. Like, yes, they raised rates. Yes, they did some, they did some QT, but only a little. Only a little. All this money is still, this 11 trillion here, this red arrow, yeah, that's still sloshing around out there. And by the way, that's more money in that period of time than they did from 07 to 20. That's 13 years of money printing. So Bitcoin's down 3%. Are we upset? Well, the chart doesn't look very good, but that's okay. Because, you're probably supposed to start thinking about buying when the chart does not look very good. Okay, now for some additional comedy, okay, hopefully I'm showing this on the screen. Nurse, sir, you've been in a coma since February 22nd. Fed hiked the rates to 5.25%, and there's a war in Europe. The patient says, oh boy, I can't wait to see how my puts are doing, as in the stock market. Okay, so just to be clear, for anybody who's new to the show, and we always welcome anybody who is here and new to the show, let's check how the puts are doing. Let's check. Because there's a whole point for hamming this up. Okay, so here's how his puts are doing. Wow. Here's February 22nd. Right here. This is retail loaded up short. Triple leveraged ETF. And then it goes straight up. Now, why am I showing you that? Along with that little joke, which is obviously not that funny, right? Because we got to figure out on this freaking stream right now, okay? Right now, what makes this, what's the next version of this? What is the next, oh, I never would have thought of that trade. Never. Like, wait, you mean WorldCoin is the new Bitcoin? That's an example. Or Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Inu, right? Tina Lee, appreciate you too. Appreciate all of you guys. Okay? Appreciate all of you. We got to find this for 2024. Is it Bitcoin or is it ETH? Or is it the Bitcoin mining stocks or Galaxy Digital? Right? Remember, the bigger the base, the higher in the space. You know what? I think I want to start saying that again. Really, for Galaxy Digital. I mean, is it really, really so difficult to understand that as the world prices in AI perfection in equities, that one day, say at the end of August, right? Or even in September, that it becomes time for crypto. Now, how would that transpire and why is the market down? Well, Venus went into retrograde. That means when you look at Venus in a telescope, it spins in a different way. It normally does. And this is kind of like a Gann thing. Sometimes when Venus is frequently associated with crypto, that's kind of a loose association. I got it from looking at research from 2021. And when Venus, goes and spins the other way, certain trends reverse. So you've had a little bit of a reversal in Bitcoin, and you've had other trends take off because you've had this brutal downtrend in wheat all year. And if I'm not mistaken, that is a big, fat green candle in wheat. You've also got green candles in oil, which has been in a humongous downtrend. Okay, now let's talk about what's going on with Jerome Powell. Fed's coming up, And I want to keep the economics part of the show simple. Okay. We are doing live TA with gusto. Okay. So here is crude oil versus Bitcoin. Okay. Crude oil up on the candle chart here. As you can see with the orange chart, Bitcoin down. Right? Bitcoin does not necessarily like higher oil. Does it? Okay. So if oil goes up, Bitcoin could go lower. Now, if oil goes to 100, okay, we're all going to feel very betrayed. That said, you may get an epic dip, which is why I'm advocating the start of a dollar cost averaging strategy where you buy small amounts between now and September. Okay, so here is 90-minute Ethereum. You have a 9 bottom. Okay, you have a failed rally, which looks terrible, and then ETH starts to bounce. What's the lesson from this? Classic P&L destruction, right? Everybody long up here. Everyone buys the green candle on the 23rd at 1895, and all the traders are puking it out down here at 1835. What's changed? Not much. Now, in Bitcoin, you've got the same situation. You've got a 9 bottom. People definitely wanted to buy the dip. You have some D-wave signals down here. This is potentially very powerful stuff. You have a 5 wave and a 0, which means done with the downtrend. I mean, that's just Bitcoin. Now, if you look at the daily chart, not to confuse you, but the read is a little bit different. It's a little bit more sober. Okay? Again, try to be patient with me. Be gentle with me. I'm operating software for the first time. So, not the best looking thing. 9 top, 9 bottom, excuse me. This is the Bitcoin daily chart. Failed rally. You want to see Bitcoin get its act together pretty quickly. This is not good. Not good on the daily chart. Now, what happens if the Fed comes out and talks tough? Maybe they have to talk tough because they're having nightmares. Okay? Robin says, I don't have the experience yet to know when to downscale in gold in favor of Bitcoin. Today, it's Bitcoin down, gold up. Time to swap or better to keep the gold as a hedge? Okay, this is a good question. So, in general, when it comes to Bitcoin, I don't think it's unreasonable to try and hold out to see if you get 25K. Why not? Like you can buy it at 28 and maybe there's an overshoot to 25, maybe. If you have a DCA strategy. I'm not opposed to it. Now, I'm kind of hoping there isn't 2 down weeks in Bitcoin because I'm hoping this intraday chart kicks in. Okay, I'm going to go to XRP and then I'm going to go to gold. So XRP on a 90-minute chart has not been responding to bullish signals. 13 bottom, not a bottom. 9 bottom, not a bottom. 13 bottom, maybe it's a bottom. Maybe. Okay. A lot of people think the high for the year, the fashionable call now is that the high for the year is in XRP. I think XRP has to be above 75 cents. And if it's not, you have 6 more down days. The first trade is always wrong. So you know what? Everybody that bought the first trade at 80 cents thinking it was going to $2, I don't blame them, but it's not working out. And if they puke XRP down to 56 cents where this moving average is, that's where your buy point is. Crypto Clan, welcome. Don't Ask 6, doing Galaxy Digital and MicroStrategy. Makes sense to me. Now let's go to gold and let's talk about it. Okay. So here's your gold versus Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin went up, gold sort of went up, and then everything is failing. Now, why is everything failing on the gold front at the moment? Like failing as in not going with the other commodities. Let's talk about bonds. You know, this is the destroyer of worlds, ZB. Okay. The crypto clan was watching Toby on Unhinged Crypto. Yes, this is a reminder. Check out unhinged_crypto on Twitter, Unhinged Crypto on YouTube. Trying to get a video out every day. The mystical. If Toby was a computer, you'd listen. Toby and I are melding our skills together, and that's where this bond market read comes from. And this is why I'm talking about DCA, ZB, and crypto. This is the 30-year bond, okay? It's a futures contract, so you follow price. Price down, interest rates up. Price up, interest rates down. So if ZB goes down, the 30-year mortgage rate goes up, okay? Now, this is a flag, and people have gotten stopped out left, right, upside down, and center. Straight, good old-fashioned P&L destruction, right? And I'm going to show you right here. So everyone sees this, okay? That's the width of the range, and that's how you project it down from the point of the breakout. So ZB is now at 126, and it could go all the way down to 116 and make a new low. But everyone knows this, so look at this chop. Down, up, down, up, down, up, up, failed rally, down, going to zero, straight back up again. I mean, just brutal. Just brutal, right? This is a daily chart. Okay, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, part of the reason why the chart may look like this is because the Fed is trying to prevent this from crashing. Because remember, the Fed, even though they own less of our debt, you know, it's not like they've pulled $11 trillion out of the system. Okay. So our bond market's in trouble. It could be. You know, the Fed needs help stopping inflation. How does the Fed stop wheat from going up when Putin is squeezing it? How does the Fed stop oil going up when the executive branch of the United States decided to get short oil by emptying the entire strategic petroleum reserve, literally? How do they stop wheat and oil from going up? Well, the Fed can't really do that. The only thing that can do that is ZB. ZB has to go down. Now, here's the kicker for crypto. ZB goes down, generally not good for risk assets. Definitely not good for hyper-speculative tech stocks. Probably not good for altcoins. That's why altcoins are running scared today in front of the Fed. Crypto is a fast-thinking market. That's a new term I have. Very fast thinking. So crypto doesn't sit around. So if crypto is afraid bonds are going to plummet, everyone's going to sell. Then what will happen is if bonds plummet, they might crash. You may have a V bottom in bonds. It's a radical idea, right? In other words, this is like sit, 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 and then it could be down, Jerome Powell's nightmare, but he gets help with inflation, and then bonds rally back up when something happens to stocks. Somewhere in this process has got to be a massive buying opportunity, like massive. The integrity of our debt is in question. The Federal Reserve cannot stop inflation. They didn't really have a handle on inflation to begin with, and Putin has got them on the ropes. He's absolutely got them on the ropes. Okay? Chatty Man says, I'm glad I took XRP profits when I did. Okay. And then somebody is correcting me on retrograde. Okay. Retrograde is the track of the planet, appears to go in reverse, nothing to do with the spin on the planet. Got it. Okay. And then, of course, BitBoy Al says, love unhinged crypto, a different perspective. Yes, we will be putting the quantitative and the Wall Street together with the Mystic. It's like I'm taking GAN to a whole new level. It's not exactly GAN, but I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Okay, let's take a look at A0 on DeMark. Okay, so on the daily chart, you could have theoretically 4 to 5 more down days. On a 4-hour chart, okay, you have a lot of support right where the market is right now. It looks like 88 cents. Okay, again, there's more support below the market. You could have 4 more hours of this. Okay, Eric is asking me, Bill, do you think Elon is going to use XRP on X, former Twitter, DC in the house? My producer actually sent me a video. Okay. Sent me a video of Elon creating a bank called X in 1999 that, as I understand it, eventually became PayPal. And this is your X meme coin token. Okay. Probably not affiliated with Twitter, if I understand it correctly. But the market never really misses an opportunity. And what I will tell you about meme coins is that anything that comes out and makes this square consolidation formation usually winds up going higher. Okay. But again, my view of these meme coins is different now. Okay. Yes, the market does F itself by getting too involved in this and hamsters and all that. However, the market is on one hand bored, but on the other hand, starving for something new. Starving for new money. Okay. Now let's take a look at equities. Okay. Speaking of Elon, let's look at Tesla, right? Tesla on a 4-hour chart is having a hard time at 268. Okay. There's obviously a big gap here that could get filled. Okay. Nvidia, a lot of times it's pretty rare that you get a correction in Nvidia. Supports at 446. You know, it's right on a moving average. And as you can see, this DeMark smart moving average, it's not a particular time frame. It's just a moving average quantitative system. Okay. Nvidia is on support. Now, on one hand, it's a 5-wave top. On the other hand, I can see a world off the Fed where they come out, they hint that they see cracks in the system, or they actually talk tough and say they're worried about commodities. And then everybody goes, the first trade is to buy equities and sell crypto because everyone's afraid of bonds. So crypto runs and everybody buys equities. I know it's counterintuitive. I'm kind of thinking that's not the case because equities are so overbought now. Okay. Somebody just asked me, where do I set fib numbers? Okay. Here we go. Where do you set your fibs at? Okay. That's a good question. So if we're talking about retracements, okay, I do 23%. Probably impossible to see. 23%. Actually, wait. Let me see if I can get it. If it'll come up on the properties. Okay, here it is. Maybe this is easier to see. 23% over here. 38.2. 50%. 61.8. Now, in crypto, to be honest with you, the one that matters the most is 618. Okay. In legacy, it can be the 38% and the 76. In crypto, if something goes to the 618 and holds, it's going lower. In ZB, as you can see, they get to the 38% retracement right here, and then they fail. Okay. Bitcoin. right? So this is Bitcoin on a daily chart. This is some pretty intense bearish divergence where you had a higher high in price, a lower high in price, and then price gets smacked. So this is why I was discussing 27K and DCA. FYI, these type of divergences never get unwound in the first decline. They never do. Okay? There's a decline, and then there's a range, and then it goes down again one final time. And maybe Jerome Powell is going to do us all a favor. Maybe. Okay? You may wind up seeing 27K Bitcoin, and every time they smack altcoins like this, down 5%, they're giving you an opportunity. Even if you're a trader, don't buy altcoins on green. Don't. Okay. Dead Fred says, I'm late and I will definitely go back over. Fred, you're never too late. You're never too early. You're right on time. You're right on time, man. Okay. Okay, people, stay with me. I want to go to Cardano. I want to talk about some of these altcoins that have not been performing well. Okay, now, Cardano on a 4-hour chart has got decent support at 30 cents. There's another angle on altcoins that I have not talked much about, and that's sector rotation, right? In other words, 1 minute Cardano is trading awful. It never went up, right? And as soon as the XRP news came down, it went straight down. So this daily chart is terrible, but there is support at 23 cents. So where is there support in Cardano? It's support at 30 cents and at 23 cents. Now, how do you read the chart? Okay, well, obviously people know about this support from this move up. The DeMark work draws it automatically. So what you want to check is for people's willingness to pay higher prices. So on a red day, you want to see people coming in and maybe getting after like a 90-minute green candle. It's great if you can get it down here, but it'd be nice if you could see people like be interested and have 30 cents hold. Now, if 30 cents doesn't hold, you're looking at 23 cents. Is 23 cents bad in Cardano? Well, yes, if you own it, it is. But if you're looking to get involved, it isn't. It isn't. Right? Now, I know Gensler is after this. This is just an example because people like to hear about, really, really big coins. Driftless notes, wheat is smoking higher. Just also remember about commodities, right? Commodities up, bonds down. Oil up, Bitcoin down. Bonds down, crypto down. You may have to rewind that a couple times. Be careful about commodities. It's the one thing that very few people understand, right? It's an under-owned asset class. So fast money like commodity trading house money may chase wheat. Computerized models may chase wheat instead of Bitcoin. We would like them to chase Cardano. That day is coming. Now, let's look at Polkadot. Let's try a daily chart of Polkadot. Okay, Eric has got a good question here because my Polkadot chart is not cooperating. Eric is asking, Bill, we always appreciate you, and I appreciate you for watching the show. How do you feel about XRP, and are you bullish? Okay, so here's my XRP chart, and I got the Fib retracements drawn on them, and the 62% retracement is at 65 cents. And that may be where they want to take XRP. And if XRP holds 65 cents, then it's fine. If it doesn't hold 65 cents, it's not. Now, my bet would be that people in XRP must be really disappointed. I mean, all those YouTube shock jocks that were like, Gensler is the enemy, XRP forever, XRP. XRP wins a case. They're going to pay a fine for not selling the security, for not selling XRP the right way. But if it's not a security, it's just a behavioral thing for Ripple. Come on. Now, hopefully it's not Ripple selling this thing to pay its legal bills. That's a point of concern, which is why 65 cents has to hold. But I am constructive on this, right? I'm constructive. Daniel J wants to know if Bitcoin miners are going to make a comeback. Let's check that out. Okay, so there's HUT, right? Now, with this is where you break out your Fibonacci retracements, okay? Because to be honest with you, this feels like maybe a little Elliott wave. Maybe this feels like 1, 2. This was very emotional up here. Okay, it's a little outside the box. You have the big 2 wave and the small 4 wave. Very emotional up here in HUT. Okay, now, when you get emotional, if that really was a 5 wave trend, okay, you want to draw a fib retracement. Okay, 367 was the 23% retracement, so you know it's not a super uptrend. 38% is at 312 in HUT. Now, if this gets stupid, the 62% retracement is 224. That would hurt some people. That would mean this gap would get filled. And gaps do get filled. They do get filled. Okay, especially in things like stocks. Especially when people get super emotional. Like, do you see the Williams oscillator down here? I mean, this could come out of a book. Huge new high in the oscillator, lower high in the Williams oscillator. Ugh. Right? Start thinking about 28, right? 28, 25K Bitcoin. I mean, again, every day is a new day to get ready. Okay, so someone's challenging me on DOT. I don't blame them. Okay, so let's look at it. I like Polkadot, but it's not moving. Now, again, here's the problem that all cryptocurrencies are having right now, which is why the market trades so badly. You have higher highs in prices in Polkadot and lower highs in momentum indicators. So the reason Polkadot doesn't really move, it's technical, chart-wise, and money is not flowing to Web3 right now. Money flows to Web3, okay, when everybody figures out that WLD, even though it's probably coming from the World Economic Forum, even though there's every reason to not like it, okay, there's every reason to not like this. Like, I don't have to go through all the reasons to not like this. But the future of money has been issued. We all have to decide whether it's going to be WLD and OpenAI as the alternative currency, or it's crypto. And the whole world and Mr. Market and Mrs. Market gets to vote. They get to vote. Okay? It's as simple as that. Okay, here's AGIX. Okay, so as somebody noted, you made more money in Tesla than you did in AGIX. I get it. But you've got a 9 bottom, and it's possible that this is a 4 wave and that there could be a new high. I met these guys at Consensus. I don't own it. There's a reason I don't own it, because I want to be able to talk about it without saying I own it. Okay? It's interesting that people come up with this huge valuation from basically a borderline centralized World Economic Forum coin. Like, it's private, but you get your own world ID. So congratulations, you're no longer a sovereign person. You have now been absorbed by Big Brother. Yes, I know you need your digital identity. I get it. You need your digital identity. But what is the future of crypto? What is the future of AI? Decentralized or centralized? I report, you decide. Okay, Matthias is asking if I stake any coins. Not at this time. A lot of people asking me about staking lately. Interesting. Daniel J is here. JCH as well. Welcome. Okay, I do not do any staking because you know what? I hold crypto for the upside potential. Staking is nice right up until Gensler gets you. Okay, here's Polkadot. Okay, nothing going on in the daily chart. A 13 bottom that wasn't really a bottom. Okay, the good news is there's support at 518. And the real thing about Polkadot is everybody who buys it up here gets stopped out, and everybody who shorts it down here gets stopped out. And this is something that I've been talking about on all the shows that I do. Okay, as I pull up Optimism, here. Everybody is buying on the way up and selling on the way down. Okay. And that has not worked. Just look at the chart of Optimism, right? It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes sideways. Now, what might be going on in Optimism, which is somewhat interesting, is that you could have some form of head and shoulders bottom forming here. If you want to be positive about altcoins, which generally speaking, I want to do on red days or red weeks. Let the Fed come scare everybody. And if you see ZB going down, make sure you're managing your risk properly. Okay? So there's a difference between being optimistic and being an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Now, Optimism, you may get something that fills out the left shoulder, a right shoulder down here. Okay, for this thing to turn around and then go up. I do not believe that crypto is dead. I do not. In a world where AI is pervasive, decentralized money is more important than it ever was. It's more important than it ever was. And the thing that's so funny is they're selling it because the West got outflanked by the Russians, which is why wheat is smoking to the upside along with corn. Just to give you an idea of the extent of like the bear market or just the sort of slumber or slump that grain has been in. This is Corn Weekly. Okay. 3 up weeks in a row. Can Jerome Powell stop this? No, he can't. First, the bond market's going to try to help him stop it. And then if that either doesn't happen or doesn't work, people are going to turn to crypto. Okay? Remember, go back to equities. What is the shocking trade of next year? Like this thing that I showed you from the cartoon where equities would price in AI and the end of the entire tightening cycle as in nothing matters. Okay? What is next year's version of this? Is it Bitcoin? Is it XRP? Is it Solana? Is it WorldCoin? Is it Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Inu? Is it none of the above? Okay, I want to say it's Bitcoin and a meme coin. The revolution in 2024 is that a small altcoin could become a sustainably big altcoin. That might also include a commodity like silver. Okay, like what is the shocking rally of next year, and how can you use this Venus in retrograde period to focus in on it, to find it and then buy it, or find it and then profit from it? Okay, like Avalanche gets completely stoned at resistance, right? Whole bunch of congestion up here, no interest. will you be able to get Avalanche down here? And I'm sure there's a bunch of people calling for a new low. I'm not a big fan of calling for a new low in altcoins. I know you might be able to trade it that way. I'm more inclined to just buy on red. You give me 2 red days, grab something. If it works, awesome. Okay, Richard Barry with the super chat. Appreciate that. BTC Bull Run. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Okay, yes. Okay, Eric is saying, if you don't hold XRP, you're a moron. Stealing a quote that I used on Crypto Love about Bitcoin, which I understand was immortalized somehow. Okay, let's take one look at Bitcoin on an intraday chart, just so you're going to have a flavor. If you're watching this later, it's kind of interesting to look at different charts and be like, hey, that was the intraday chart a couple of days ago, because we're going to a Monday and Thursday schedule. We're actually moving it up to 1 Eastern time. Okay, so this is a 9 bottom, a green candle. Is it going to reverse in Bitcoin? Okay, you have a 9 bottom and then you have a failed rally. First it looks bullish, then it looks horrible. Now it looks horrible, and watch it go back up. Or at least go up a little. Don't buy on green. Okay? Don't. Okay? I'm so bullish on bitmaps. Have you looked at a metaverse on Bitcoin? No, but they're going to build the metaverse somewhere. They're going to build the metaverse somewhere. Okay, people. I am looking for a button on my screen. I appreciate everybody who's come on today. Okay, I will see you on Thursday.